Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Irene Mananda from BSFC English, and I am here to discuss typical and atypical development among children. So, Child development involves continuous physical, cognitive, language, and social-emotional changes beginning in early life and continuing into the teenage years. Development follows predictable patterns, although children progress at different speeds. Understanding the typical and atypical development helps parents, teachers, and caregivers recognize children's needs and provide appropriate support throughout childhood. So, child development is the ongoing growth of a child's body, mind, language, and emotions from infancy through adolescence. It follows common patterns like crawling before walking, but each child progresses at their own pace. Knowing what's typical helps adults spot delays of differences so parents, teachers, and caregivers can give the right support at the right time. Next one is typical development among children. So it refers to the expected patterns of growth and behavior observed in most children. Early developmental stages focus on gaining body control, basic communication, and social interaction. Later stages involve more complex thinking, advanced language skills, and deeper social relationships. So typical development follows a common pattern most children experience. In the early years, kids learn to control their bodies, start communicating, and interact socially. As they grow older, they develop more advanced thinking, stronger language skills, and deeper social connections. So there are different domains of physical development. The first one is physical development. In infancy, they experience or they will know the basic motor skills such as sitting, crawling, and walking. In early childhood, running, jumping, and refining coordinations. Middle childhood improves strength, fine motor skills, and endurance, and in adolescence, rapid growth, puberty, and physical maturation. The second one is cognitive development, wherein in infancy they will know their sensory exploration. They have sensory exploration and learning simple cause and effect relationships. In early childhood, basic problem solving, memory, and attention. Middle childhood, more organized thinking, academic learning, and logical reasoning. And in adolescence, abstract thinking, complex problem solving, and decision making. The fourth one is language, or the third one is language development, where in infancy they will start babbling and first words. In early childhood, short sentences and expanding vocabulary. In middle childhood, complex sentences, reading, writing, and learning vocabulary for academics. And in adolescence, sophisticated language used for communication, analysis, and learning. The fourth one is social and emotional development, wherein in infancy, they experience attachment to caregivers and expressing basic emotions. In early childhood, learning to share, cooperate, and play with peers. In middle childhood, forming friendships and empathy and emotional regulation. In adolescence, identity formation, independence, and managing complex social emotional challenges. So the next development is a typical development among children. It occurs when development differs noticeably from expected patterns of a given stage. Differences may appear in physical, cognitive, language, or social-emotional development. So a typical development, it is when a child's behavior or growth doesn't follow the usual pattern for their ages or their same age. These differences can show up in physical skills, thinking, language, or social emotional ability. So forms of a typical development, wherein the first one is developmental delays, wherein they have slower speech, delayed motor skills, or difficulty interacting socially. The second one is developmental disorders, wherein they can have autism spectrum disorder, ADHD, and learning disability. It may affect communication, learning, behavior, and social interaction. So as children face greater academic, I know, so the impact. So differences may become more noticeable as academic and social expectations increase. Without support, these challenges can affect school performance and emotional well-being. So as children face greater academic and social demands, developmental differences stand out more clearly. These challenges can hinder learning and impact emotional well-being. So the causes of atypical development results from multiple factors, which is genetic, biological, prenatal, birth complication, neurological differences, or environmental conditions. No single cause is usually identifiable. Factors often interact over time. So the importance of early identification and intervention. Early recognition is essential, especially during early childhood when developmental milestones are critical. Interventions may include therapy, educational support, and family guidance. Early support improves developmental outcomes and helps children adapt to later challenges. So recognizing developmental issues early is crucial, especially in childhood when milestones matters most. With timely support like therapy, education, and family guidance, these children can improve outcomes and better handle future challenges. So children develop in diverse ways across stages of growth. Typical development follows expected patterns, while atypical development reflects individual differences. Understanding development supports inclusive education, informed caregiving, and positive outcomes. So children grow in different ways as they move through stages. Typical development follows common patterns, while atypical development shows unique differences. Knowing both help create inclusive education, better caregiving, and positive outcomes for children. So that's my report all about. Thank you for listening.